Hello, am I live? Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? I am so happy to be here. Sorry, let me just adjust this camera. Not doing what I wanted to do. Still too low. Oh my gosh. Is that good? That's good, I think. Hi, how is everyone? So today is a live Q&A where you get to ask me about questions on supplements. It's only on supplements. Do not give me information on your specific case or ask me whether or not you should do certain fertility treatments. This is about supplements, okay? So, I guess some of the supplements will pertain to cases, so maybe include some relevant information. But I'm just going to let you start asking me questions. So just so you guys know, I've been in clinical practice helping women get and stay pregnant for almost 20 years. I've written a handful of awesome books to help you optimize your health and your fertility. They're behind me up here on Facebook, Instagram. They're behind me. Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, The Egg Quality Diet, Body Belief, Chill Out and Get Healthy. You can learn all about me and the offerings that my team and I bring to you on my website, amyraup.com. You can also see the list of my recommended supplements on my website under Amy's Recommended Supplements. And so I'm just going to sit back and wait for questions to roll in. Who wants to start? Let's see if any questions have come in. Yay, hi, so ready for this. I love it. Others joined. Hi, hi, hi. You guys, hello to everyone. I love all the hellos. But I literally have, okay, I see some questions on Facebook coming in, so I'm going to go there. My cycle has, okay, here we go. I'm going to just stay here. My cycle has shortened 4 days to 2 since I miscarried in June. Oh my God, this is annoying. Are there any supplements I can take? I have your book and followed most of the diet. I'm gluten-free, eat an egg or two almost every day, on liver pills, prenatal. Every time a question comes in, this thing scrolls down. It's really annoying. I'm on liver, prenatal, cod liver, probiotics, vitamin D. I just added spirulina and folate. I've had a CoQ10 and DHA the last 15 days. Yeah, I would really do the diet. I would make sure, so this isn't a supplement thing. I would just make sure you're doing plenty of bone broth and lots of fat. We need to build the blood, which is part of what's going on from the lighter period. I would also, and this is a total aside, I would also make sure that someone's looked and make sure there's no endometritis in your uterus, to make sure there's no infection that's causing the lighter flows. Castor oil packs too could be really helpful. In the case of fish oil, I would be on like 3,000 milligrams of fish oil, cod liver oil. Make sure you're doing 2 liver pills at least a day, 2 to 3. And the DHEA, don't go over 20 to 25 milligrams a day. During last week's live, you said 600 was too much. I'm curious as to why. So it depends. Not every ubiquinol is created equally. There are some that have ubiquinone, which is, I think it's ubiquinone, which is a highly absorbable form of ubiquinol, and you only need about half the dose, 300. I think 600 also, what I've seen clinically, some women feel really racy and speedy on it. So it really just depends on how you feel. But I think 400 is a nice, safe dose for everyone. Okay, I see the questions coming on Instagram, but I'm here on Facebook, so I'm just going to answer these. What are your thoughts on True Niagen? Yeah, so I prefer Reservacell by Thorne. That's my top one, and I would only take 1 a day, not 2 a day. You can definitely overdo it with NAD, guys. You do not, in my opinion, want to be on more than like 125, 150 milligrams a day of the NAD. So True Niagen has a really high dose. I know some doctors love it, but the research is coming out that more isn't better with a supplement like this. I've had some blood tests and I've told that my hormones are so low, I'm most likely not releasing eggs. I know this is a Q&A about supplements, but my diet, food is the primary medicine. So for you, Laura, with hormones being so low, I would really rework your diet. And I would follow the Egg Quality Diet personally, and then follow the basic supplements that I recommend there. So fish oil, liver, spirulina, or a prenatal with enough methylfolate. You want about 15 to 1,800 micrograms of methylfolate a day. And then vitamin D. Vitamin D is not a vitamin, it is a hormone. And so if your hormones are low, your vitamin D status is probably also low. Definitely get your thyroid checked as well. What are your thoughts on GABA and theanine? So from what I understand is that neither are actually that pregnancy safe, so I don't usually recommend them. What do I have to take to lower DHEAS hormone? So it could be a stress response, it could be cortisol, every other test of normal ovulation and everything. So it could be a sign of some PCOS, it's like an excess androgen. Things that will help that is like regulating blood sugar, so maybe myo-inositol could help with that. And I would think about like broccoli sprouts, cruciferous vegetables, things that are going to help your body detox. Make sure you're on a methylfolate and not folic acid to support methylation. And sulfation, which is what DHEAS is, sulfation. I'll add collagen bone broth back in. I just felt overwhelmed. Me lots of avocado. Okay. What do you think about taking SAMe for comp gene mutation? Yeah, because it's, it gives you those, I think it's like the methyl groups is what they would say. Is it necessary to take it? Will it affect my fertility? If I don't take SAMe, even though SAMe should be taken for variants. Yeah, I don't use it regularly. I've heard it in some of my functional medicine training, but personally I go after, if I see the COMT mutation, I'm going after supporting detoxification. I like to use broccoli sprouts in that situation, and super clean diet. Sometimes calcium D-glucarate. You don't necessarily need the SAMe. What can I take for sleep? Well, melatonin. Melatonin is one of the best supplements for sleep. I would start at like 0.5 to 1 milligram. I would do a slow release one. And it also it's very promising research on improving egg quality for fertility. You mentioned ozone sauna before. How many treatments would you recommend before egg retrieval? So I work with Dr. Murphy at Rejuvenating Fertility Center, and he has a lot of research on ozone. He sees that 2 treatments a week for 3 weeks, so 6 total, has a very good impact on embryo quality and fertilization and blastocyst rate. My sugar levels are good, but I will look to detox my system and lower my stress. Yeah, I would think about that because the DHEAS, you want to think about how to improve sulfation. And so the broccoli sprouts, in my opinion, would be probably one of the best. Okay, so I'm going to go over to Instagram now, and then I'll come back to Facebook. I'll remember where I was. Is fermented cod liver oil good? There's controversy about heart problems. Yes, I've been recommending fermented cod liver oil for, I'd say 15 years at this point, and I've read all the research. And, you want to be careful where your research comes from is what I would say. I do not see an issue with heart issues in any of my clients, and I still firmly, recommend it. There's other fish oils out there too. You don't have to take fermented cod liver oil if you feel adverse about it. But there is some good information on the Weston A. Price organization about the cod liver oil and research. That's where I would go for research. Are people posting questions in here? No, these are requests to join. We're not doing any joining. Okay. You're welcome. I'm taking 16.7 micrograms of selenium in my prenatal. Do I need more selenium? No, I don't think so. I think, let's see. I think that's a plenty amount. I just want to see something. I feel like 15 to 20, let's see. Yeah, you can go over the upper limit, so you don't want too much selenium. You do not exceed upper limits. So, you could take more, but I would just focus on it from your diet versus taking additional selenium, if that makes sense. Like eating a Brazil nut or 2 a day would give you plenty to get you towards like 100, max 200 of micrograms of selenium. So other things that are super rich in selenium are all your meats, beef, turkey, chicken, fish, shellfish, eggs. So if you're just eating the diet the way I promote it, I don't think you need to take extra selenium. I feel that way about vitamin C. I feel that way about some antioxidants. I have a sawtooth BBT. So typically with sawtooth, we say it's liver qi stagnation in Chinese medicine. So it's like emotional stuff that I would work on, frustration, anxiety, that kind of stuff. And maybe in that token too, like detoxing the liver. So I would think about broccoli sprout extracts. I would also make sure you're using castor oil packs in the follicular phase because that will help with a more efficient ovulation. If FH Pro considered a prenatal, yes. It's got all the things you need in there for a prenatal. Typically, I don't recommend prenatal and spirulina at the same time. I think it's overkill. It's not unhealthy or harmful to you, but it's just a lot, and I respect your money. And so I would alternate every other day or just do spirulina every other day. I've done the embryo transfer yesterday. What supplements should I take during the next 15 days? I followed egg quality diet. So once you've transferred, I would just be on the basics. Like I would be on fish oil, a prenatal, vitamin D, probiotic, and liver. That would be my recommendation. Just stay super basic, and then if you're on like baby aspirin or something like that. I'm taking 400 of CoQ10. Is it recommended to take them both at once or divide, take morning and night? Yeah, it depends really on your gut health, to be really honest, of like how well you're absorbing, but I do think you could break them up. Sometimes, like I said in the other question, CoQ10 can make people very racy. So taking it too close to bed might not be the best for sleep. Maybe I would do like morning and then lunch. Myodechiroinositol, I've been taking it for 2 weeks. Does it help with hirsutism? It could if PCOS is the root of it. I'm also on spironolactone. So yeah, that should help too. I would just also work on the diet. Please help me understand the benefits of fermented broccoli powder supplements for fertility. Because sulforaphane is the active ingredient in cruciferous vegetables, and namely in broccoli. And sulforaphane really helps you sulfate, which is part of the detox pathway. So there's methylation, sulfation, I'm totally blanking right now. There's two others, and I'm going to gluconoridation and one more. But sulfation is a huge part of the detox pathways. And so when we see signs or symptoms of, say, like estrogen dominance, a lot of times, too, that's very confusing. You don't actually have extra estrogen. You might have too little progesterone. It just might be going down the wrong pathway. It really helps support detox. So, I mean, I prefer eating 6 to 8 servings of vegetables a day should really do it for you. But some people just can't do that or doesn't work for them, or they need extra support. So the fermented broccoli sprouts really help. Okay, I just lost my questions. Let's see. Everything got shifted up. Okay. So I'm going to go all the way back to the top because I lost my space. Fermented cod liver, I did that. Selenium, I did that. Sawtooth, I did that. Did that. Sorry, guys. I did that. Here we go. How many of the Green Pastures cod liver oil capsules do you recommend? I also take 4,000 IUs of Thorn D3K2, plus we have 4,000 IUs in the prenatal. So that's a lot. You don't need 4,000 plus 4,000. I wouldn't really go over maybe 5,000 to 6,000 IUs of D unless you definitely know you're super low in D. You should know your D levels before taking that much. And then how many of the Green Pastures cod liver oil capsules do you recommend? I mean, it really depends on the case, but minimum 6. I would say 6. Hi from Italy. I take 1 pill of cod liver oil. Is it okay? I have high cholesterol. Yeah, it's fine, and I would take more. Cod liver oil is an anti-inflammatory. Cholesterol is due to inflammation, and so you want to take, I would take at least 4 to 6 a day. 4 weeks away from FET, 1 prenatal, vitamin D, cod liver, L.Ac, spirulina. Take anything else? Should I stop, continue? What if I get pregnant? I would add in a probiotic, and I would alternate the prenatal and the spirulina. You don't need both every day, like I keep saying. And then everything's L.Ac you could stop once you're pregnant. And then the same thing, I would alternate the prenatal and the spirulina. Is it possible to get pregnant? Okay, so that's not a supplement question. Okay, that's not a supplement question. Do you prefer Vitex or Maca? I don't really use either of them that frequently. As an herbalist, I find them to be band-aids and not treating the root of the problem. So Maca is what I would use more regularly, though. I'm taking FH Pro for women, Maca B complex omega-3 DIM. I would drop the DIM. DIM clears out good estrogen and bad estrogen. I would not be on DIM. I think that's not a good recommendation for women trying to conceive. I would be either on fermented broccoli sprout extract or calcium D-glucarate, both of which can do what DIM does, but without harming the good estrogen. What else can I do? You're on the OvaBlend. I would do castor oil packs, to be honest. Don't take too much maca too. You know, I think 250 or so of maca is plenty. I just want to look at my one, the one I recommend, because too much maca can be drying. The diet is really important for PCOS and trying to regulate. Yeah, so 500. I would stay on no more than 500 of maca a day. I would drop the DIM, do castor oil packs, add in broccoli sprout extract. Make sure you're taking, you know, upwards of 3,000 omega-3s and really follow the diet. The OvaBlend, make sure it's 2,000 of the Myo. Okay, so high testosterone, you want to think about, you know, again, like the detoxification pathways. Myo-inositol is really good for that. Okay, I think I already answered that one, Sophie. I think you asked it twice. Are any supplements to help reduce cysts? I usually like Wobenzyme for that, WOBNZYM. You guys can find all of my recommended supplements and links to purchase them on my website under amyrupp.com under recommended supplements. And just for the 2-week wait / after FET, in my opinion, less is more. Just keep it super simple. Fish oil, prenatal, probiotic, vitamin D, and then baby aspirin if that's been recommended to you. Is that all? Do you agree with taking collagen? Yes, I recommend it all the time. What is it exactly for? It's basically, you know, the gel for all of our cells. It really helps make our cells very healthy and highly absorbent, and I look at it as a way to improve egg quality and improve cellular function. When we improve cellular function in every cell in our body, our fertility will improve. It also helps heal the gut. A lot of people have gut issues. They're not absorbing properly, which is why they're not getting pregnant, because the body doesn't think it's getting everything it needs. Okay. I was on beef bone broth the last 9 months and my cholesterol got high. I stopped consuming it. Should I reintroduce it? Yeah, I think it's more about the other things that you're on, or add in digestive enzymes like the Wobenzyme or betaine HCl and see if that helps. But also make sure you're taking enough fish oil. Like around the 3,000 milligram mark for fish oil is really potent and helpful to high cholesterol. Vitamin D as well. Make sure your vitamin D status is in good, healthy range. We want it closer to a 70 on U.S. numbers. I'm looking beautiful. Thank you. Can you get pregnant naturally at 48? No, that's not really a question here. It's not supplements, but I've seen it happen. With high PGD, so progesterone, post-ovulation with a sudden drop, what supplements can contribute to this? Should I remove something or add something? So it's something with the corpus luteum, like it's some kind of faulty mechanism with the follicle development. So I would still think about like the diet being the primary means, and really following like the egg quality diet for those 100 days to kind of balance all the hormones. But I would also think about progesterone supplementation. I like Progestaveil for an over-the-counter one. What are your thoughts on the Mind Body Green Sleep Support? Contains magnesium, bisglycinate, jujube. I love jujube and gamma. I get freaky dreams on melatonin and it makes me super. Yeah, that looks good. Is it gamma or is it GABA? I don't know about GABA. I've been told that GABA in pregnancy is not recommended. So you could take it up until you get a positive pregnancy test. But magnesium alone is super helpful for sleep too. I like the jujube seed extract. That's a Chinese herb and we love that for sleep. Any suggestions for scanty periods? Following the 100-day diet, I think the beets help with increasing blood. I'm also drinking red butter. Liver pills, the bone broth, high amounts of fish oil, castor oil packs, those types of things. What fish oil would you recommend except cod liver oil? Go to my website and see. I have other recommendations there, amyrupp.com. Do you have any thoughts on supplementing with iodine like Lugel's brand? So I've only been using it if someone that I know is COVID positive, because it seems to really help with the first exposure to COVID. Otherwise, I don't use iodine supplementation in my practice. I just recommend sea vegetables, dulse in your bone broth if I think you need extra iodine, or eating the sea snacks, or spirulina. I don't really directly put people on iodine. It's not an area of expertise for me, and I just haven't seen it be like the game changer. So I have never really dug into it. I have histamine issues. I read that fish oil can aggravate histamine levels. Only fermented fish oil. Other fish oil should not. So just don't do the fermented. Rosita is a non-fermented cod liver oil. Carlson's also makes a decent one. You just got to make sure it's not the one with soy oil. How many days should I take a probiotic? I mean, every day. Yeah. Can liver and iron and prenatal both be taken together? I think so, as long as you can absorb it. It should be iron bisglycinate in the prenatal. Can you help explain if peptides help you with egg quality? Okay, briefly, the collagen peptides, yes. They help on many reasons, but, fat, protein, it really helps create that healthy follicle, which is the house to the egg. And it also helps heal the gut, which will help improve absorption so that your body gets everything it needs to do all the things it needs. And protein, we find that macronutrients, I go over all this in the egg quality diet, but protein is critical to healthy fertility and egg quality. Do you recommend Mega Sporebiotic during pregnancy? I'm not sure of that brand. I do usually recommend probiotics in pregnancy, yes. That's a good question. The seed probiotic, well, usually in phase 2, we say no supplements. So that's where I would just say no supplements in phase 2, as is recommended. And then, yes, to point out what my team is saying, I have an entire video on collagen and its benefits. DM us and we will get it to you. My recommended vitamins are all on my website, so my prenatal is on there. Stop C once pregnant. I mean, it kind of depends. If you're high risk for COVID or things like that, maybe extra C isn't bad, but I am a less is more once they are pregnant. Can you take castor oil packs while on IVF stim drugs? I don't usually recommend that. So I already went over supplements during the 2-week wait. I'm not going to repeat myself because it's been asked like 3 times. So, okay. I take B complex for my mood. Is that okay with all the Bs in my thorn prenatal? Yeah, it can be. Bs are water soluble, so you'll typically urinate them out what you don't need. Keep taking collagen when pregnant. I think so. Perfectly fine. How do I take vitamin D minus 40 and I'm 26 weeks pregnant? Recommended vitamin D is on my website, the Thorn D3K2, and if yours is a 40, I would probably take like 3,000, 4,000 IUs a day. What supplement do you recommend for improving estradiol? I had the results. So I don't work like that. To me, food is the primary medicine, and hormones come into balance when we give the body everything it needs. And so I'm not like, oh, do this for estrogen or do that. That's not how my brain works. Estrogen doesn't exist in Chinese medicine. It's really about building blood and giving your body all the nourishment and nutrition it needs. So for me, if I saw someone with low estrogen, the first thing I'm doing is diet and fats, lots of fats. I don't know, gamma ammunitic acid. That's what's in this thing. I'm going to go with I'm not sure about it in pregnancy is what I would say. Or use magnesium. Once you're pregnant, use magnesium. Stilbene, yes, that is in the Elysium Health, their NAD, and that is one that I recommend. You'll see that on my website. When it comes to the NADs, guys, not NAC, NAD, I don't recommend 250 milligrams a day. That seems to be the recommended dose. Some people even say upwards of 300. That can actually backfire. More is not better with that supplement. I recommend 125 milligrams max a day. CMOS, yeah, I think it's fine. I think it falls into that kind of like spirulina, iodine-rich food category. What's better, digestive enzymes or probiotics or both? It really depends on the case. I can't really answer that. I use them both. Um, what supplements help bring back a period? I mean, it really, that's so, I can't help with that because I don't know enough about the case. I would get on the egg quality diet and follow that to a T, and your period should come back. How to lower FSH? Again, same thing. I would hit back to the egg quality diet when we're talking specific hormones. And we also, for FSH, we have to remember FSH comes from the brain. Not AMH comes from the ovaries. And so you also have to think about a mental emotional component when FSH is high. Typically, there are high stress levels. So things to reduce cortisol, getting enough sleep, that kind of stuff. But the diet is the foundation, guys. Supplements are the cherry on top. Should you be careful taking HCl for a long time? Can it damage the stomach lining? Potentially. Yeah, it's not something I'll put somebody on for a long term. It just kind of depends on the case. So yes. What magnesium do you recommend for pregnancy? I make a magnesium spray that everybody loves. You can go to my website, amyroutbeauty.com, and see that. Magnesium glycinate is the one for oral. Can you use chelated magnesium? I don't see why not. It shouldn't be contraindicated in pregnancy. If magnesium, if you're taking magnesium is causing loose bowel movements, it's too much magnesium. That's what I would really pay attention to. So I have 5 minutes left. I'm going to go back over to Facebook because you guys deserve some attention. Okay, so I'm going back. Ozone sauna. The supplement in the book you recommend, Vitex by Pure, is also known as Chase Tree. Is that the same thing? It is. And not something I typically recommend though, Vitex. What do you think about CoQ10 versus ubiquinol? Does it really matter? I'm on CoQ10 400. Yeah, like I was saying before, ubiquinol I think is more absorbable, and so you need to take less. CoQ10 400 is fine though. I have PCOS with low androgens, very low testosterone. What can I do to increase the testosterone? So, weight-bearing exercise. You need to lift some weights. Low-level weights will really help with PCOS, low testosterone. And then getting the PCOS under control. So the diet would be helpful there too. Make sure you're on myo-inositol. Is there anything one can do to help increase estrogen besides DHEA supplementation? So I think I already answered that on Instagram. I would really go back to diet being the foundation, focusing a lot on protein and fat, nutrient-dense foods. During early pregnancy, I do not recommend NAC. Is phosphatidylcholine the same as liver pills? No, they are different, and I usually recommend both, depending on the case. Or at least choline-rich diet. Natural supplements to prevent blood clots. I have no blood clotting disorder, but I had blood clot in my placenta last pregnancy. I would talk to a hematologist about that. That is where I would maybe say baby aspirin in the pregnancy, but talk to a hematologist, and they'll make a good recommendation. I like CBD. I don't know that it's pregnancy safe though, so once you are pregnant, I wouldn't take it, but it doesn't seem to impact fertility in a negative way. Okay, all of my recommended supplements and brands are on my website. We just posted the link here on Facebook. Instagram, if you need the link, DM us, but it's amyrout.com, and then you just scroll over to recommendations and you will see it. I'm a vegetarian. I can't stomach it. That said, I'm taking prenatal, ubiquinol, zinc, D3, collagen, methylfolate, B complex with folic acid. I would not take folic acid. I would drop that. You want only methylfolate, and I have videos on why, so go and Google that. Is there anything else I should take out or add in? Fish oil. And if you can't do fish oil, there is an algae-based one that I would do, but you need some really good omega-3s in your diet or in your supplementation. And then I would consider something like bone broth. I see you're doing collagen, which is good. Would you recommend calcium deglucarate? Yes. For clearing out bad estrogen? Yes. Are there supplements you can specifically don't recommend for people who are trying to conceive that we might be taking for general health? I think things that are like high doses of turmeric or any of those like detox supplements like GI detox or like magnesium oxalate or whatever that is that like makes you poop, like anything like that that's like a diuretic or an aggressive bowel mover, like the smooth move teas, that kind of stuff, no good for fertility. What are the most important supplements for DOR? I mean, I would really go to the Egg Quality Diet, and then on top of that, make sure you're doing all my general recommendation supplements like fish oil, liver, prenatal or spirulina, probiotic, vitamin D. I would add in NAD and some other antioxidants. You know, some of my favorites are like melatonin or NAC or glutathione, things of that nature. What do you think of L-carnitine 500? I think if you have a diet like I map out in the Egg Quality Diet, you don't really need the amino acids. If you're drinking bone broth regularly or taking collagen, I don't think you need the extra amino acids. Another doctor I work with had said, like, but depending on gut health, if gut health is compromised, meaning you're not having a healthy bowel movement every day, you have a lot of gas or bloating or indigestion, you might need these supplements because you're not absorbing your food. But generally speaking, if you're on the diet I recommend, you do not need the amino acids. I'm going to give you guys 3 more minutes and then I got to hop because I think I have another call very soon. I'm not going to remember. How much spirulina? I'm taking a 500 milligram tablet. Yeah, I say up to like 1,500 or 2,000. Yeah, it doesn't damage the thyroid. I mean, yeah, I would say you could take 3 of those is perfect. Should I stay off bone broth if I have histamine issues? I don't think so. You just want to have it frozen and then drink it that same day. No more than 2 days of bone broth being in the refrigerator for anyone with histamine issues. I go over this very detailed in my book, The Egg Quality Diet, which you guys can get on Amazon. It's in Kindle and it's in regular. Can I drink bone broth during pregnancy? Hell yeah. Detox B is bad. Burdock is, yeah. Okay, we did that. So 2 more minutes. I'm going to give you guys block tubes. Do you recommend serapeptide? I do, or wobenzyme. If we're already doing so much supplementing for fertility, do we need milk, thistle, artichoke, and dandelion? I really love dandelion. It's in my liver support soup that I just finished my bowl of. I think it's really supportive to the liver. Can you use chelated magnesium doctor prescribed? Okay, so I answered that one. Okay. Do I recommend NAD infusions? I think that's too aggressive. No. I think Ben Greenfield does, but not for fertility. I love your magnesium spray. Thank you. Thoughts on PQQ? Yeah, I think that can be really helpful in the CoQ10 mitochondrial function. There's one that I like. It's on my website, Mitochondrial Optimizer, that has the PQQ. My doctor recommends 10 milligrams DHEA based on my Dutch. I do have a high testosterone. I'm scared to take DHEA. Do you think I should add it in to help with egg quality? Yeah, but you also have to do something for the testosterone. So you want to think about really supporting your body in its detox. I mean, for me, I go back to the diet. Like I would always, everyone, in my opinion, should all do the Egg Quality Diet. You should all start there. Learn what's the right diet for you. And I want to be clear too. People are like, the Egg Quality Diet's too hard. There's no many. You're meant to remove foods and then you're meant to reintroduce foods so that you can actually learn the diet that's right for your body. It is not an elimination diet for the rest of your life. But I would start everybody there because that heals the gut, that fixes so many hormonal issues, and then the supplements become the cherry on top. So in regards to this question, I would probably still supplement with DHEA if the testosterone, even the testosterone was a little high. CoQ10 safe once pregnant, I usually stop it. I don't know if it's safe or unsafe, but I don't think it's necessary. Low AMH, again, I would just go back to diet first and foremost, and maybe the NAD plus is something you do in addition to all the other things. How much melatonin? I don't go over 2 milligrams, and it really just depends on the patient's reaction. And I do use the slow release always. Do we have to use homemade bone broth? No, I have recommended bone broths on that same page on my website that recommends supplements. Is bone broth concentrate okay for someone with histamine issues? Yes. Are dandelion products safe for the 2-week wait? Yes. I wanted to say the butternut squash soup is amazing. Thank you. You're welcome. I successfully eliminated dairy and gluten. Woohoo! All right. Perfect timing. I think I got everybody's questions. I love you guys. This was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you next week. If you guys want to know my recommended supplements, amyrob.com or DM us. Facebook, we posted it multiple times. Check out the book, The Egg Quality Diet, because I do think that is the fundamental place to start for optimal fertility. I love you guys. I wish you all the love in the world. Sending lots of baby dust. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'll see you later. Bye.